Welcome to another music review. Okay, this is a review of the debut studio album by Everything But the Girl called Eden, and it was released in June 1984. Now, Everything But the Girl were a creation between the duo of multi-instrumentalist Ben Watt and vocalist and songwriter Tracey Thorn. They later joined in matrimony, and they've existed as a pop duo since that time. They currently have separate solo careers, but they still play together, and recently released in 2023 their comeback album called Fuse. Certainly I recommend a listen to that as well. But let's get back to the debut, and it caught my eye and ears way back in 1985. A friend of mine was very much into new music at that particular time, and he invited me to take in the charm of Eden. I was absolutely stunned by the maturity of it. Eden, with that chamber pop feel mixed with orchestral jazz, put together with lots of Brazilian bossa nova structures and airy horns. And this combined beautifully with Tracey's throaty falsetto singing, and the combination was, to say the least, absolutely first class. So I'm going to review this album now. The couple, as an incidental point, met at university in Hull a few years before this creation began, and they went on to make a plethora of albums together. And I got most of them, I think maybe about 15 or so. Anyway, that's my basic intro to this album. So let's get on to the track list now, and the opening cut, Each and Every One, is very much a slow, sober flavoured pop song. It talks about the broken side of love, and Thorn very much singing from the heart. There's some trumpet on here and some lovely Latin mix that glides over the sound. It's a very strong opener. And here's an extract from the lyric. If you ever feel the time to drop me a loving line, maybe you should just think twice. I don't wait around on your advice. You tell me I can go this far, but no more. Try to show me heaven and then slam the door. You offer shelter at a price much too dear, and your kind of love's the kind that soon disappears. Yeah, I think you got the gist of this broken side of love, which is the theme that runs through this album. Absolute delightful opener. So to the second track, and on my copy it's Even So, although the track list varies from different editions. Anyway, Even So, stripped back with the Tracey on acoustic guitar. It's got lots of neat little percussion, beautifully sung and written by Tracey, but not very substantial from the instrumentation point of view. It's almost a relic from perhaps their early folk influences, but very nice on the ear, it has to be said. So to track 3 then, A Tender Blue. This is a beautiful song. It's once again a very slow, melodic, jazz-inspired tune. You can imagine sitting in a jazz lounge environment, lapping it up. There's some exquisite horns on this, trumpet and laid-back guitar, but very sparingly used up front. Acoustic guitar with Tracey and Ben switching lead vocals. It's only 3 minutes long, but it really does encapsulate you and shows what a class act these two are. Exquisite double bass in there as well. Track 4 is Another Bridge, and it follows some understated organ by Ben on this. The guitars are mellow, not in your face, they're not excessive, as are the guitar solos. It's very laid back, it's jazz feel, continues, very Stan Getz style, and very understated but thoroughly appealing. So to track 5, The Spice of Life, 3.5 minutes of gentle laid back jazz. The rhythm acoustic guitar played by Tracey on this album, and striking on this track. But I suppose that comes with the nice arrangements that accompany it as well. And that's basically track 5. So very much in the same vein, checking in at a measly 1 minute 39, is track 6, The Dust Bowl. A lovely acoustic guitar working the fretboard at the beginning, with that chord structure very evident. And it's a pure delight once again, a love song as tends to be the case with this couple, and why not? So Crabwalk is up next. It's track 7. It's an instrumental, jazz overflowing here. There's 2 extremely tasteful solos, one by the flugelhorn/trumpet, and then by the sax. The rhythmic horn section is prominent throughout, to a picking style acoustic guitar amplified very much like George Benson would present to his fans. Here, the Coltrane style sax is very much in evidence. It's superb, a little bit of freeform added in. What a great track it is. Up next is Frost and Fire, it's track 8. The organ's reminiscent of Booker T on the intro, and then Tracy's Vokes take over. Some spiraling jazz style guitar in here, and the vocals are so absorbing. There's neat percussion elements that are added that retain that bossa nova feel. Absolutely delightful. So to track 9 then, Fascination. It follows very much a typical Thorn type song. The vocals dominate. There's fleeting strings, but I guess their horns are very light in the background, it has to be said. The acoustic guitar again sort of leading this folk bossa nova style song. And there's an impeccable couple of sax breaks which really make you wish you were back in that lounge jazz environment with your favourite friend, possibly female or male if that's your particular menu. So that's Fascination for you. Track 10 is I Must Confess. It's got a riff very similar to The Girl from Ipanema, that infamous Stan Getz song, and it locates Thorn next to a deep ringing upright bass and Watt's glistening guitar, played very much in the Charlie Bird style. He's another impressive musician that was around at the time when Brazilian music, especially bossa nova, took off really in the United States in 1962. Again, he collaborated with Stan Getz on the album Jazz, which brought bossa nova into the mainstream. And alongside this style, we have Nigel Nash, who punctures Thorn's vocals with a velvety tenor saxophone. Has to be said that I don't know Charlie Bird's music, but he's passed on now. But this is a very good example, and so I suggest I should check that out, as should you. So to the penultimate track, Bittersweet. It might be track 2 on some people's copies. The acoustic rhythm guitar bristles at the intro, and there's some really nice harmonies as a guitar solo emerges. And then finally to track 12, Soft Touch. This is a song, if you dip into the lyrics, it's very much a homage to war, almost a lament. And I'm going to leave the lyric up now so you can read it at your leisure. I'm not going to go through it personally. You read it and you'll see lots of references to war, and I guess these guys are on the right side of the political divide. Certainly it meets my agreement. So there we have it. That's it. That's track 12, the final song on this album, Soft Touch. Okay, so by 2012, Eden had sold around 500,000 copies. Not bad, eh? It was reissued in 2012 in a remastered 2-disc deluxe set. But my review isn't going to encompass that. But just a reminder, as my slide goes up with the details, Everything But the Girl. On this album, Tracy Thorn is on vocals and acoustic guitar. Ben Watt plays guitar, vocals, Hammond organ, piano, and is also responsible for the horn arrangements. And then we have the additional musicians: Simon Booth on guitar, João Bosco de Oliveira on percussion, Charles Haywood is on drums, Chucho Merchant on double bass, Dick Pierce plays flugelhorn, trumpet, and Nigel Nash is on tenor sax, and Pete King plays alto sax. And thanks for Mike Peller for the engineering. An interesting cover design as well, but I won't get into that. Anyway, that concludes my review of the debut album from 1984 by Everything But the Girl, and it was called Eden. Get to listen to it. It's a gem.